Hi there. My name is Jason Nucciaroni, and thank you for coming to my IST261 project midpoint code execution and walkthrough. I do know at the top of the window here that it says IST261 final project, but I can assure you that it's the midpoint here. So once again, for formality's sake, I'm using IntelliJ IDEA as my preferred IDE of choice for this class. If you look over at my activity bar here, you can see that I use other tools such as PyCharm and DataGrip. I just really like the look and feel. I like all JetBrains tools. I like the plugins. You can see I got like the little database thing going here, and Git commit. I've been using Git to keep track of this project so I don't screw anything up. But let's get right into it here. So once again with IntelliJ, you just go up to this little green arrow here. Just click Run Main. Take a couple seconds here. Should launch. So already you can see some differences from my last chatbot. I prefer to use the starter code for my chatbot here because it works really well, and also, if it isn't broken, don't fix it. So but slight changes here. So first, ROARbot actually greets you as you open the application. Figure it's just helpful way to tell the user first time they're launching it the types of things that they can ask it. So kind of three categories here: common Linux commands, writing PBS scripts, basic troubleshooting. Feel free to ask me questions, kind of indicating that it should be in that area. So the first thing that I'm going to demonstrate here is the common Linux commands. This one's kind of tied to the use command, user intent. I'll kind of get into that as I walk through how I did everything. So first I say, I need help using a command. And then ROARbot will hit me with, could you please tell me what command you're trying to use? And I could say, I am using tar. And then it'll just tell me right here. So it's tar xdvf. It'll just give like a short little description. So it's an archive utility program. How to uncompress a file here. How to create your own file. That's not actually the only command. So I could say, I need help using cat. And then, cat, yet another Linux utility program thing. So I use to print out the content of the files, tells you how to do that, gives some example use cases. And then finally, wrap it up here, just one more command to show how do I use echo, the echo command. And there you go here. So echo can be used to display a line of text, pretty short. ROARbot knows how to do that, just tell you how it is. So echo hello world. So I'm just going to close and soft reset here. All right. Okay, and then the next feature that I want to demonstrate here is the writing PBS script. So I'm just going to put it really simple. Write a PBS script. And then it'll just take me through a short interactive dialogue here. It's tied to the the write PBS, so which is bash, allocation. This is all high performance computing stuff. Very straightforward. 2 gigabytes. Let's say 4 hours. And then, yes, I would like to receive an email. And then I'll just give it my PSU email here. Okay, so it wrote the PBS script here. So we can actually verify that this happened. I just have to open my file explorer, created a hard-coded location. Here you can go here. The contrast is kind of terrible, but I'll highlight it here so you can see everything that I wrote in the chatbot is present here in this PBS script. So it actually wrote it for me. So as you can see, bash bin bash, open for 4 hours, and the email, and then it just kind of makes sure it adds its little signature here, auto-generated by ROARbot. So I'll close that here, and then I'll just demonstrate my last thing here, last intent that I have so far. Ran into a problem. Let's start here again. Alright, there we go. Okay, so then it says basic troubleshooting. That's tied to the troubleshoot intent. So I'll just say here, I'm running into an error. And then ROARbot says, oh no, copy and paste the error message. So that's one thing that I really thought would be neat. Let me open it here real quick. I have like a standardized error message. So I'll just go into documents. What is it? IST261 code, final project, and then text files. And then, yeah, let's see here, error.txt. Just pop that open, copy and paste that here. There we go. Control V. Hey, and it has an answer there for me. It looks like you forgot to specify the allocation you're submitting your job to, so it provides a solution. So I just need to add the following line to my PBS script. Pretty neat. So, yep, that's the current user intents I have right now. Let me exit out of this stuff. All right. And then let me just go into the code now, how I implemented everything. So first, nothing really changed here, just changed the name of the chatbot. GUI here, you can kind of go through, so you can see I kind of have that initialization message that I want to add to the text. Change the position of everything, pretty straightforward. I think it looks nice still, so that's nice. And then, yeah, just kind of got rid of the button here in the action listener. It just wasn't really needed anymore. So yeah, let's get into it then, or let's get into the user intents then. So I'm just going to start here as I went in order here. So the first one I'm going to go into is the use command, or actually no, let's go into language understander. That would be better. So here first modified a lot of stuff. User intent, right? PBS. SQL, array list. I'll get into that one. Yep, so you can see here I pretty much just modified everything in language understander. So it's like, oh, here's how the conversation, I didn't want to do that. Conversation continues, so use command, and then if I go to is user intent here, string original now input text. I realized that I needed a deep copy of the now input text for some of the methods that I was using, but as you can see here, just kind of straightforward method that I used. How do, trying to, can, use command, so just common keywords that I would associate, auto generate, write, draft, job script for write PBS, troubleshoot, keyword, error, receive, troubleshoot, issue, and then finally here I just did like a list of common errors that people would get. So I actually have this stored in a database here, so this is stored in the troubleshoot database. I just utilized SQLite for my code here, but it goes connection, get a connection, driver manager, set auto commit because I'm not updating anything, and then just here's the statement, prepared statement, grab the result set, and then just punch it in there to an array list. Yeah, because for some reason, just like base arrays, you can't append anything to, which is kind of crazy in my opinion, but oh well. And then I just loop through each array, so as now input text comes in, or in my case original, now input text comes in, it analyzes it, see if anything's matching, and then if it does, lowercase, it just sets the now input intent, and then it returns the intent here. So then if I go to dialog manager, I got a lot of crazy stuff going on in here. So first I have, if now user intent is null, just say return ask intent. And then use command, there's actually two steps here. So there's answer command and then ask command. You saw that there. It's just the way of slot filling. I'll get into that. And then else if, this is just kind of the interactive dialogue here. So first it asks what kind of shell scripting language you want to use, allocation, node, processor, per node, and then I'm basically just using all the slots to analyze that. And then I go down here to troubleshoot, and then it's like ask the problem, return solution, and then else there's no solution, and then yeah, that's just there for neat's sake. And then finally, if I go into response generator here, it just has everything that I could possibly need. So it's got the first ask command response, sure, I can help you, and then switch case to make sure that it stays dynamic, less robotic. And then as you see here, answer command, once again I'm relying on that SQL or SQLite database, so that's command database that I'm pulling from here. So it's like, oh, connecting, matching the string where the name is the same for like the command, and then just pulling that data down and then returning it to the user. I don't know what just happened there. Yeah, but that being said, so that works. Get that, and then here with the write PBS, I'm getting the intent or getting all that information. Yeah, and then writing it out, create new file. So just using the file writer class and the file class to create the file. Yep, just the interactive dialogue here. And then I get the troubleshoot where I copy and paste it, and then once again it just kind of pulls, once again relies on that slot table. Yeah, so that's pretty straightforward. And then I just kind of have the uh-oh, couldn't solve it, and then the, hey, like, I'm not a social bot, please help. Yeah, so that's how I implement a response generator. And then I'll just get into my user intents real quick. So the first one I want to talk about in order here is the use command. So this one here is kind of what is it? Use command is like okay, so the user has a Linux command that they want to use, but they don't really know how to use it because there isn't really any widely available documentation. So here it just kind of has that string command list, so that's that slot filling. It's trying to pull the command. As you see here, I have all of these, alias, cat, just a lot of really common Linux commands. And then once again, it just kind of loops through the user message and it sees the command and then it puts it in the slot table. I know that we didn't need to do that for this part of the project, but it was kind of a really critical, mission critical feature of my chatbot for it to work. So I decided that it was absolutely necessary that I had to build the slot table. So yeah, so basically the user intent here, it just kind of scans for a Linux command that a user is trying to use, and then if it finds it, it just puts it in the slot table. Going to the next intent here, the write PBS. So this one is a lot more interactive than the last one. So a lot of this script here is built upon the idea of, doing iterating. So it's like first it checks if the shell is null, so that's the first step, and then the allocation, and it makes sure the shell's not null. Keeps asking, keeps asking, keeps asking, kind of gets bigger and bigger, but it really builds that interactivity, allows that conversation to take multiple turns. That, I know there was another one that I kind of had to wait, but it was just another really mission critical feature that I needed to have for my chatbot to work. And then at the end of that, it just, so it just basically fills the slot. So I have all the slot information, email, yes, no. Once again, the write PBS user intent, if I didn't say that beforehand, is for writing that PBS script. So that's kind of a really important feature that I wanted to build into my chatbot here. So yeah, I just kind of build that interactability. So I got this array here too of kind of, okay, these are set responses that the user can use. And then kind of moving on here to the last intent that I currently have programmed, that's the troubleshoot Java, or troubleshoot. This one is primarily tied to, okay, so the user tried to do something and they got kicked back an error message. Let's see if ROARbot can help them. So if I kind of go in here, so this one is definitely a lot more involved than the other two because there's a lot more dynamic information here. So as you can see here, I have a try catch block, so it connects to the troubleshoot database here. Kind of prepare the statement here and then execute the query. One thing that I actually did involve was that, I'm not sure if I can pull it up here real quickly, but if I go to project structure, libraries, I did pull two Maven libraries. Maven, really helpful. I actually like it now. Java tuples, because it boggles my mind that Java doesn't have tuples, and then just the basic SQLite driver, so cancel out of that. But I added those here, so that's what you see here is that pair integer string. So it's kind of the idea is that, okay, so every troubleshoot or every problem that the user runs into is kind of mapped to an integer value, so it makes it easier to just pull things from the database. So I did that. So it has pair integer string, so that works, and then it just creates that tuple and adds it to the array list. As you can see there, q sub pairs, and then I go through here with for I, and I just kind of look at the if it contains the, or if what the user writes contains the if what the user writes is noticed as like a common problem, it will do that, and then it will put the table that the problem. So I broke down the problems into subcategories. It'll put the problem, the table problem, and then I'll put the problem, and then actually if I do go back to response generator, it takes in that problem here, and then it just goes, okay, so where's the ID number, and then I set integer, and then result set, and all that. So wrapping up here, I had a lot of fun kind of getting to this point. I am excited to see, as I build on more features, kind of how powerful ROARbot can become as a user ability. I definitely really like the style of the GUI as well. I kind of never really realized how reliable Java Swing can be, but yeah, I have a lot of fun with this. Thank you again for coming to my code walkthrough and execution here. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot me an email. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with this, and thank you again for taking the time to watch this video. Hope you have a great evening or morning, depending on when you're watching this video.